This DVD is about mulching. Mulching is one of the most underutilized practices in macadamia farming because growers are concerned with nut losses. However, mulching will increase the amount of feeder roots underneath the trees, and that will ultimately increase yield. It should therefore not be ignored. The main aim of mulching is to build up layers of organic matter in the soil in order to create an environment for these feeder roots to grow in, to ultimately create a mat of roots which will enhance productivity. There are many benefits to mulching. One of the main aims is to increase the amount of feeder roots that we find in this top layer of soil. The mulch then serves as a source of nutrient. Mulching increases the microbial population in the soil, and those microbes can suppress pathogens, for instance Phytophthora. Mulching also increases earthworm populations. Earthworms aerate the soil, also excrete humus. And then mulch also helps to save water by reducing evaporation. It is a good temperature buffer. In the winter it keeps the soil warmer, whereas in the summer it helps to protect the soil against the direct sunlight. And then mulch is a very good weed suppressor. So you're reducing your weed control herbicides, and it protects the soil against soil erosion, and then it can also help to uplift soil compaction. There are two types of machinery that are commonly used when it comes to mulching. One is a chipper and the other is a mulcher, like the one here behind me. Mulchers are more fuel efficient and less labor intensive. However, one of the drawbacks of mulchers are that they don't always get to all the branches when they are in ditches, so level grounds are more preferred. Mulchers usually work better on smaller branches. Chippers are usually used for larger branches. However, the drawbacks are that it's a stationary piece of equipment. It's often used outside the orchard, so pruned branches are transported out of the orchard and chipped, and then the chips are brought back and spread in the orchard. Mulch can be made up of a number of things. For instance, in this case, husks has been used, chicken manure, there's some pine chips and pine sawdust. But the most common thing to use probably is just raw pruned branches. Most growers are under the impression that they are applying mulch. However, when it comes to harvesting, they sweep away this mulch layer in order to save a few nuts, and you're actually losing that benefit that you've tried to build up through the season by applying mulch. When you're sweeping the mulch away, you're exposing the roots and they dry out, and then you might just as well not have mulched. Rather than sweeping to save those few nuts, train your workers properly so that they can collect all the nuts in the orchard. Mulching would be recommended in most cases. However, there are several cultivars that drop right throughout the year, so they might challenge the viability of having a permanent mulch underneath the tree. Something to keep in mind when you're applying mulch is that your trees can go through a nitrogen negative period. So when you apply mulch, the microbial population in the soil increase, and they use a lot of nitrogen, and they could use the nitrogen that's available to the plant in the soil, so it might be necessary to add extra nitrogen when you apply mulch. Invest in a chipper or mulcher. Chip pruned branches and spread the wood chips in the orchard after pruning. Do not sweep leaves which expose fine roots to drying. The benefits of mulching outweigh the disadvantages. Make sure what the soil's nutrient status is before applying mulch in order to ensure that there is no nitrogen negative period. Mulching is a long-term investment and results will not show immediately.